All right, so you are all welcome to the Genius IT Brainery's open lecture. The open lecture is one that we organize every year. We organize a series of them in a year so that we can educate the public more on some of the very relevant things that we need to optimize our way of lives and also to be able to make more profit. And one of the modules that we teach here at Genius IT Brainery is the leadership model and as well as the entrepreneurship model. Our programs, as most of you here who have participated in our programs know of, we are not just teaching you how to use a computer, but we believe that the computer is more of, or digital skills is an applied science. And if you know it very well, you should be able to apply it across almost any area that you find yourself. And we find out that leadership and entrepreneurship is one key area for which we all go to school to study so we can make more profit. And before you can make the profit, it means you should be able to have a skill that can aid in your ability to do so. But then getting a skill alone is not enough. You have to develop other complementary essential skills, which we mostly call soft skills, which I prefer to call essential skills because they are very key to our success. So for us to be able to succeed, we need to find out how best we can position ourselves in this vast world that we find ourselves in the midst of all the opportunities that we have and how we can lay hold of some of these opportunities to better our lives. When it comes to leadership, there are so many components that come together to make up our competence when it comes to leadership. And these skills can apply to business, education, family, anywhere we find ourselves. And we segmented this leadership module into several parts that is goal setting, time management, strategic management, and so on and so forth. So we need to build ourselves in all these areas so that we can be effective at leading ourselves and then leading people who are in our care. So this evening's lecture is going to be on personal branding because who you are is really important and how you put yourself out there also plays a major role. They say that first impressions count a lot. Whatever you put out there is how people will relate with you. How you dress is how you are addressed. The way you talk is how you are responded to. So it's important that we learn how to put ourselves out there professionally so that if it's about entrepreneurship, if it's about our professions, we can better position ourselves for big opportunities. So I want to welcome all of you into this hall where we're going to have this open lecture. We'll have 30 minutes for questions. So whilst the lecture is going on, you can put together these questions by writing them down. If you cannot speak, you can write it in the chat and we'll read it out for you. But we encourage you all to ask the questions verbally so that we can actually hear your voice and know who you are. So tonight I won't spend much time, but I would go straight to introduce our guest who will be leading us in this section of lecture. I'll display the profile on the screen for us all to see so that you'll know who we are talking about tonight. So as you can see on your screens, we have at the bottom left corner, beneath the beautiful image we are seeing here, is Madam Holly Akpene Amwaku. She is a personal branding coach and her profile is very inspiring. I know her a long time ago when I was in school. She's a mother to me. I've sat under her tutorship several times. And the husband, Mr. Reverend Amaku, they've really seen a lot of young people transformed. They've trained lots of young people. I've got a few certificates from their trainings when they were in Ho before they relocated back to Accra. And I'm really inspired and encouraged to invite her to also share her experience with us tonight. And with her competence in personal branding coaching, we have a lot to learn from her. She has a mission to impact lives by building their value systems through mentoring, training, and then coaching. She started her business by transforming and repurposing old clothes into elegant and outstanding ones, leveraging the power of the internet and Facebook to sell her brand. Although she faced lots of setbacks, she invested in her personal and brand development and discovered her passion for branding individuals, which is very important. She now teaches strategies to build unique personal brands that attract the right paying audience, resulting in massive sales. And you can see that her coaching clients' success stories are her testimonial to her expertise and her inspiration. And down there, you can see our logo and then the lead program, which we use to empower young people. So we will welcome Madam or Mrs. Holly Akpene Amwaku, who will do a more detailed introduction of herself, and then she would continue to take us through the lecture. I'm going to leave this here because she will not be using a slide to teach. She would express her passion. She will express a wealth of knowledge to us, and I would like you to listen carefully and then take notes whilst she teaches us. So, Mrs. Holly Akpene Amwaku, I would like you to take over now and then introduce yourself in a very better way, how it suits you, and then you coach us for the next 1 hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Desmond. I feel so honored to be here. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. How are you all doing? As you can see, I'm fine. I'm doing so well. Once again, it's an honor to share my little knowledge with you all. All right. So I don't think there's any better introduction. You have said it all. So thank you so much once again. Now, I have observed outstanding quality in Mr. Desmond. In fact, I would say he's been very, very professional. His professionalism is, you know, is on the rooftop ever since he contacted me about this today's event. I've been observing his way of reaching out to me. He's not aware about that, but I've been observing everything. And from the moment he approached me to discuss today's program on personal branding, he's maintained a high level of professionalism. And I want to acknowledge and praise him for that. God bless you. Your excellent work will go very far. And God will continue to bless you abundantly for your exceptional effort. And I want to believe that those learning from you are also learning your way of connecting with people, because that speaks a lot about who you are. A lot of people are um, cutting themselves off from people who could probably later influence or be of help to them. I would say destiny helpers, simply because they do not know how to properly connect. So that is not why we are here, but I just feel I should talk about it. So today, the power of personal branding, building a strong brand that defines you and your business. Now, by way of starting, let me just share a simple story with you. I refer to myself as a petty trader with a swag. Yeah, so let me tell you how that name came about. I was at the passport office a couple of years ago to process my passport. And while filling out the form, the officer helping me asked a question about my occupation. I responded by saying, I am a petty trader. He looked at me and said, Madam, you don't look like a petty trader. In fact, he looked at me from head to toe and he said, Madam, with a frown face, you don't look like a petty trader. So I asked why, and he mentioned my way of speaking, mannerism, gestures, dressing, and everything, which did not fit the typical image of a petty trader. So I just smiled and then insisted that I am indeed a petty trader. Then I added by saying, let's just say I am a petty trader with a swag. So we both laughed and that ends it. And since then, I've been calling myself, the man before I left there started calling me a petty trader with a swag. So I picked up the name from there. Now, Holy Akpene Amwaku is a self-motivated woman with no background, nothing, practically nothing. And I got to a place in life that I was almost giving up on life because I would say that I used to be at the bottom rung of the ladder. In fact, when you gather people at the bottom, I was at the bottom of those people. You understand? But it got to a time I took a decision. In fact, a very strong decision to start doing things differently. And here we are today. So I have shared that simple story to let you know that no matter the level or the stage you have gotten to in life, things can be better for you. If you can take a decision that I have taken years back to begin to do things differently, it's just a matter of time. You will begin to see your life, at the other side. You'll begin to see your life, moving in a better direction. That is what I want to probably leave with you. Even before we start talking about the reason why we are here today. The power of personal branding, building a strong brand that defines you and your business. Now, I said something earlier. I just want to elaborate a bit on that. The statement that, or the phrase that I said that I am a woman with no background, nothing to my name, that could mean different things to different people. But then I said that to emphasize that I do not come from a privileged or well-connected background. We all understand that. I hope, I believe, I had nothing to my name. I will say that I am simply a product of grace, but in addition to being a product of grace, I also decided to do things differently. So I hope that point is clear. Now, although Mr. Desmond gave me an idea about the audience we are having here today, I intend to focus on a narrower aspect of personal branding. I will approach this topic with the assumption that I am addressing an average individual, someone without probably any specific background or title, as it were. In other words, I'm just going to simplify everything. In fact, the concept of personal branding, so that we all can resonate. It can resonate with all of us, no matter your level. Even though I'm aware that we have some people here who have graduated from SHS, from the university, some are working, some are not working, and all of that. But I want to approach it, in fact, permit me to approach it from this angle so that it can resonate with all of us. The truth is that when we talk about personal branding, it has nothing absolutely to do with titles. It has everything to do with who you are. I would really want you to probably communicate with us. Let's do this interactively. So if I say something that resonates with you, you can drop it in the comment section. That is how, I don't know for you, but that for me, that's how I learn. So personal branding has nothing absolutely to do with titles, but it has everything to do with who you are. Knowing who you are, knowing your uniqueness, knowing your values, knowing your innate abilities, everything begins with you. So if an ordinary woman like me with no title, I have nothing to my name, nothing, practically nothing, I was just simply amazed, an amazing petty trader with all the swag. If God can lead me to this point today where I'll be sitting here in my little office to share my little knowledge with you, then I want to emphasize and also speak to you directly that there is hope if you can take a decision today. I'm not trying to become a motivational speaker, but I am just simply speaking into your life. That is all. So if you feel like you are nothing, you feel like you are chopping last, as most people will say, because probably all your colleagues have left you, you see yourself at the very bottom of the ladder of life, then you are the one I am going to be speaking to tonight. Now, the issue of branding has gone beyond products and services. Today, in our competitive world, if you are not well branded, you may be stranded. In fact, this one just came. Put it in the comment section. If you are not well branded, you may be stranded. Maybe you can personalize it. If I am not well branded, I may be stranded. In this case, I am talking to you. You listening to me. Probably you are also watching me. I'm speaking to you that you are the brand. You are the product. And if you are not marketable, people will dump you just the way people drop fake products. How you enhance your personal image, how people perceive you, you have to begin to think about that. You are a brand. Drop it in the comment section. You are a brand. And my question to you tonight is, how strong are you? What's your worth? How long can you stay relevant in the marketplace? If you are the brand, then how strong are you? How long can you stay relevant in the marketplace? There's this thing I always say, ever since, I don't know who said that, and it has stuck with me, that I will continue to make myself so relevant in life that even my enemies will begin to recommend me. In fact, I will continue to make myself so relevant that my enemies will know that they need me to be able to exist. I don't know your decision today. Now, the first question someone will ask is, what is branding? I'll simply define branding as an act of packaging, right? Polishing or grooming, right? Packaging, polishing, or grooming of an object, or let's say a product, into a desired image. So, excuse me, basically, that is what branding is. Now, when we talk about personal branding, we are talking about a person, you, right? You as an individual, packaging yourself, polishing yourself, grooming yourself as a product to enable you buy up space in the minds of a group of people that we mostly refer to as audience. So you are grooming yourself, you are polishing yourself, you are packaging yourself in a particular way so that you can buy up space in the minds of the people you are called to serve, and they begin to see you as a person of value. I've been mentioning value a lot. today. So personal branding is about taking control of your identity. You are in charge of your life, and you are taking control of your identity and your reputation. Right? So you are taking control of your identity, number one, and then your reputation. A lot of people focus on identity and they lose out on reputation. So you are taking control of your identity, you're taking control of your reputation, and then leveraging your unique qualities and strength to build a unique image, a unique personal brand. So if I tell you about my mission statement, what I often say is that I help individuals build a unique personal brand that attracts quality people. So on the street of social media, because I deal mostly with small business owners, I talk about building a unique personal brand that attracts the right paying audience. All right. So you build your identity, you are in control of your identity, your reputation, leveraging your skills, leveraging your qualities, unique qualities, your strength to build a unique personal brand that attracts only quality people into your space. So you are building a unique personal brand that attracts kings and queens to you. So by intentionally building your personal brand, you are able to cut through the noise of life. You are able to stand out, right? You are able to differentiate yourself from the rest of the people who are even doing the same thing with you. So you can see two different individuals doing the same thing. But by building their personal brand, those two individuals, even though they are doing the same thing, they may be doing the same thing, you will see difference because they are all coming from a place of uniqueness. So you are not competing with anybody. You are not comparing your life with anybody. In fact, you are not comparing yourself with anybody. The Bible says that those who compare themselves with others have not yet begun to be wise. So if you find yourself at that place of comparison, then you have not yet identified who you are. Because if you know who you are and you are able to identify your uniqueness and you know your path in life, nothing will threaten you. The success of other people will not threaten you because you know exactly where you are going. You know your path and you are walking on your path. You know your tribe. You know those you are called to serve. And you are just focusing on that. So whatever that is happening with other people will not concern you. You will rejoice and applaud people from the bottom of your heart because you know that it is their time and it is their season. So you are comfortable in your skin. That is somebody who is committed to building his or her personal brand. So your brand represents who you are, what you stand for. Your brand represents your belief systems. And you have a vivid picture of where you are going. So once you see yourself as a brand and you accept that you are a brand, the approach you give to life, your actions, your decisions, your reactions automatically changes. On the street of social media, when you see people commenting because they have the power of the keyboard, so they can comment anything they want to comment, they can insult anybody they want to insult, they can throw words at people left, right, and center because you are building your brand and you know that your brand is unique. You know that Your brand is special. Your brand is separate, is different. In fact, your fight is different. You will not join them to insult on the streets of social media. You will not join people when they are insulting, when they are, doing all kinds of things on social media. You know who you are. You will not be sabotaging your brand on the streets of social media. Because, see, the internet doesn't forget. That's one thing we should know. So if you know who you are, you know that you are a brand. And you don't want to be, just people throwing you away simply because of something. You are careful. All right? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? If you can still hear me, I want to know that you can still hear me. So that is just by way of introduction. Now, the next question that we need to answer is, how do you build your personal brand? This is something that I take my client through. In fact, 3 months coaching sessions on this topic, how to build a unique personal brand. But then I will endeavor to cover the same topic in just some few minutes. I'll try to touch on very important things that you need to know. So kindly stay with me to the end of this session. So there are two major factors when you decide to build your personal brand. There are two major factors. Now we have the external factors and then we have the internal factors, right, of personal branding. The external factors are those things that you can see, tangible things, physical things, things that the eye can see. All right. So let's take, for instance, a product, right? How well that product is packaged, how appealing that packaging is to the eye. Those are the external things we are talking about. When somebody presents a food, right, and that food is well garnished, immediately you start salivating, right? So those are the physical things. So the external factors will basically be your appearance. For instance, the way you dress, the way you groom yourself, the way you carry yourself, right? All those things will have a way of impacting or affecting you positively or negatively. Okay, how you communicate. And right now, because we live in a virtual world, the communication is not only the in-person, the physical. We have the virtual one, how you message people, your response, the way you reply, the kind of emojis that you send and all of that. I just told you how Mr. Desmond, his way of reaching out to me and everything. Some of you, your destiny helpers have taken decision because you couldn't communicate properly, so they have gotten a perception about you, and based on that perception they have taken a decision not to probably help you further, simply because you have failed to communicate properly. So those are the physical things. The mistake most of us make is that because the internet has brought the world together, the internet has brought everybody together. So you have influential people, you have VIP people in your friend list, you have their numbers, you can access them. We don't know our boundaries. So we we cross things, we do things haphazardly, and that is one of the things that is affecting us till today. But I believe after today, you will take a decision to start learning messaging etiquette, to start learning how to properly connect with people. All right, because by building a unique personal brand, you see, I have gotten the opportunity to connect with people that sometimes I wonder if I'll be able to see those people in person or physically, right? Even before I die, I wouldn't know. But these people, the internet has brought them closer to me, and these are people, at the top. simply because I have taken time or I have intentionally decided to do things differently. That's personal branding for you. So you can be in the comfort of your home and people will reach out to you all over the world because they have seen your work. They see that you are a trustworthy person. People can pay you large sums of money. People who have not seen you, people who have not met you, simply because you have left positive footprint behind you. All right. So the physical things, the tangible things, your choice of words when you are communicating, and then the quality of your words. So these are two different things. The choice of your words when you are communicating with people, when you are chatting with people, when you are leaving comments on people's posts and all of that, how you communicate. So the choice of your words and then the quality of your words. All right. And then let's take social media, for instance. Your pictures, the images you post communicate a lot about you. Your posture in those pictures also communicate. A lot of things go on in people's mind when they see you online, when they see your content online. Let me tell you, the aspect of you that people know on social media is your content. Right? I have a group of people that I am training now in content creation, and I keep emphasizing to them that the aspects of you that the virtual world connects with, apart from your profile and all of that, of course, you need to optimize your profile and all of that. Apart from that, the aspects of you that the virtual world can see, what you can use to buy up space in their minds, is your content. So the choice of words and then the quality of your words, it's important because these are things that are tangible. They are visible. Your videos, your audios, your background, and some of you, if we should go now to your timeline, your profile, it's looking like a forest. Because all kinds of people have tagged you in a post. Meanwhile, you have a skill. You have learned a skill from here. And you are supposed to go and then give what you have. But your profile is looking like a mess. So who will give you money? Who will pay you money? Nobody. So these are the physical things. The quality of your visuals. All these things are living footprints behind you. People go behind you to make research, right? I have a coaching client right now who this person has never left a comment on my post. He has never, nothing. I can't remember seeing this person online, but it's, in fact, a lady, she reached out to me and she said, I have gone around to research about you. I've seen you on this platform. I have seen you on that platform. I have seen, blah, 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 blah. So I am here. I mentioned my charge. She paid immediately. So if you think that those who engage with you, they are the only ones who are seeing you online, then you are lying to yourself. A lot of people are observing. A lot of people are watching. They might not engage with you on social media. They might not leave even a full stop on any of your posts, but they are watching you closely. What footprint are you leaving behind you? All these things must not be taken for granted. All right? People are observing you closely. They are watching you closely. I was amazed when a powerful woman of God, she's not even a Ghanaian, she reached out to me one day and she said, I did not even know that this woman has been following me. She reached out to me and said, Madam, I've been following you. There was a post you shared. I just copied it and shared it in my community. Immediately she added me to the community and introduced me. I was sick. I was saying, really? This is a woman of God, big time woman of God. I said, wow. So a lot of people are watching you online. You allow your timeline to be looking like a forest. All kinds of people have tagged you in their posts, unrelated posts. The question is, those things that are showing up in your feed, is that the kind of brand you are building for yourself? That is the question that someone who is checking you out will ask. Is this the person? You said you are a graphic designer. You can design things beautifully. But when we come there to see, we have seen all kinds of people tagging you in 99 plus posts. And your timeline, your profile is looking like a total mess. Is that a brand you are building? What perception, your audience, what is their perception of you? When people meet you online, what are the things that come to their mind? And our ladies, we dress anyhow, we post anyhow, because right now it is pictures, pictures, visuals are selling a lot. So you post all kinds of things on social media and all blah, blah, blah. Is that the kind of brand you want to build? So just as a person's footstep in the mud or on the sand, that is how your brand looks like in the minds of people. So what footprints are you leaving in the eyes of your audience? So time will not permit me to take these things one after the other. So I will just leave the external factors here and move on to the internal factors. Now, when we talk about the internal factors, we are referring to intangible things, things that cannot be seen, right? Just like the human body, we have the internal organs in the human body, and mostly it is the internal organs that give life to the external organs. So that is how personal branding works. The internal organs are the ones that empower the external organs. So we are talking about the internal factors and then the external factors, right? So the first question you should ask yourself is, who am I? Who are you? And this has to do with your purpose. Why are you on earth? Who are you? Who exactly are you? We know you are a young man. We know you are a lady by name Betty or whatever. But apart from your name, who are you? The you in the inside of you. What are your values? Right? What are your skills? Your knowledge base regarding what you know. What are the things you know? All right. Most of the time when you ask people about their skill set or the knowledge they have, some people think that, oh, I don't have any, I don't know much. But let me tell you, everybody is an asset. You are an asset. So stop looking down on yourself. You are an asset. Whatever you know, whatever level you are in, there's something you know that somebody doesn't know. So maybe when it comes to knowledge, let's say you are at level 2. There's somebody definitely who will be at level 0 or level 1. So in that case, you know something that you can teach somebody. The mistake we make is that we focus on the immediate people that we see around us. So when we see them achieving man, then we start belittling ourselves. So what are your experiences? What are your strengths? What are those things that you know to do? Because those things, there are things you know how best to do that. Those same things are like, something that a lot of people struggle with. So those are the internal factors. So start asking yourself. Maybe you can just write some of these things down. The things you know, your experiences. I got to a stage in life that I lost everything. Everything. Time will not permit me to share my story. Last Sunday, I was invited to share my story with a group of people. Most of those people are not even Ghanaians. And I shared my story. I am not ashamed to share my stories. Those are my experiences. Those days that I was going through those things, it was painful. But today, I am using them to inspire other people. So what are your experiences? What are some of those things you have gone through and probably you have survived, even if you have failed? Yes, I have failed many times. I lost everything, found myself in huge debt. Today is a story I am sharing with people. So what are your experiences? So over time, you see your brand becomes the word or the phrase that people think when they see you, because you have consistently communicated that. So you need to identify who you are. You need to identify the skills you have. You know, if you are in the process of building your brand, one thing I have realized is that when you, especially when you are intentional, you will begin to notice your knowledge gap. So that is where you go in for further trainings. You go into, to sharpen your skills, to know more. And you are building and you are moving. Most of you, maybe some of you are working, you are not doing your own work, you are working for somebody, you are working in a corporate environment, and you have remained at that one spot. No. There are things you can learn. Right now, there are so many things you can learn. So you need to know where you are. You need to identify your knowledge gap. Then you begin to fill it. Fill the gaps. So we have established that the first thing is to begin to see yourself as a brand, as a product. Accept your kind of brand. Identify your inherent abilities, those innate abilities. And then you begin to find out what you need to do or what needs to be done to improve on yourself, to improve on other things that I have already mentioned. Because you are expected to build yourself, to groom yourself, to package yourself, to polish yourself. All right? So one thing that I want to also leave with you is this. You see, when people begin to trust the name of your brand, right? They trust it not for the name alone, but based on the trust that they have or they have built with you. All right. So this brings us to you trying to communicate your values in your daily transactions, your daily interactions, your daily business transactions. Those of you who are in business, all those little things that you do on a daily basis, those things combine together to represent your brand. So the way you deal with your customers, those of you who are in business and you have customers, how you deal with them, some people are only interested in their profits. So they are ready to crucify the relationships they have on the altar of profit. It is wrong. So the way you deal with your customers, the way you keep your word, I have mentioned the quality of your word, and then the choice of your words. All these things come together to define who you are. You go and borrow money and you decide, even before you even go for that money, you have already taken a decision that this money I won't pay back. And you don't care. Some of you go and even borrow money from this quick loan, MTN, quick loan, and blah, blah, blah. You quickly change your numbers and all of that. Is that the kind of brand you are building? You think MTN is not a human being, so there's no way you'll be found out, so you can do it whatever you like. You go and borrow money, you borrow whatever, then you quickly change your number. And you think that these are things that nobody will notice, so you don't care. And the question is that the brand you are building? So you need to decide from the very word go the kind of brand you want to build, the kind of message you want to attach to your brand. All right, we are almost getting to the end. I want to leave few things with you. I hope you are noting your questions down. Whatever questions you have, I'll not be able to touch on everything. Our time is almost up. So let me leave you with this. The steps that you can take, all right, when you want to build your brand. So I'll bring it to social media, since all of us are on social media and many people are using social media to do amazing things. So if you have not started yet, then let me leave you with this simple step. Time will not permit me to elaborate on them. First of all, I have already mentioned identifying who you are, knowing your uniqueness, what is so unique about you, what is it that, makes you different. You need to know. And then you identify your values. You need to know what are your values. What you see, one strategy that I have adopted when it comes to social media is that, especially the day I took a decision to be intentional, I decided to think value first at all times. So when I'm coming online, my motive is value. What can I give? What value can I give to my audience? That is the first thing that I do when I come online. Value. Because a lot of people come online to be educated, to be informed. Some people come online to be entertained. People come online for various reasons. I have decided to be a purpose-driven user of social media. So when I'm coming online, I am coming with a purpose. I am coming with a strategy. I am coming to give value and also to learn from other people. So you need to incorporate this mindset into your daily interactions. So what are your values? Now, I hear people talk about value a lot. What are your values? Values are your basic beliefs that guide or motivate your actions. So values describe your personal qualities that you choose to live by. Those things that guide your interactions, your actions and all of that, your decisions. So your values determine what is important to you at every point in time. Because see, social media is a public place. You are going to meet, or you are meeting all kinds of people on social media. Your strong values will help you to stay consistent in dealing with all these manner of people that you meet on social media. So what are your values? And then after identifying your values, you see, you have to also make sure that you communicate your values all the time. Every point in time. Yesterday, I received an invite from somebody, and then he's not a Ghanaian, and he gave me something. He gave me a topic. They are organizing a program, and they want me to feature on that program. And then they gave me a topic to speak on. So after going through the topic, those of you who are not aware, I'm a student. So I was in school yesterday, and after school, the message came. So I told the person that I will go through the things and revert. So when I got home, I went through the things and I realized that this is not something I could speak on. It's not in my area of expertise. So I quickly, sent a reply that no, this is not my area. I wouldn't want to touch on that topic. And this person was like, you could just, so that was the response he sent. So I saw the response this morning. Then he said, you could just research on this topic and come and present. So I said, yes, I know. And this is what a lot of people are doing, but that is not the kind of brand I am building for myself. I choose to remain sincere. If I don't know something, I want to just quickly admit that this one, I don't know it. Yes, I can just go right now. There's ChatGPT and all kinds of AI that can help you pull out a lot of things you come and stand and talk about. But that is not the kind of brand I want to build. So I'm sorry, I'll not be able to do this. So I need to, be sincere. That is the kind of brand I am building. These are my values. So I need to let the person know. I'm sorry, I will not be able to do this. So what are your values? This is the core of your personal branding journey. If you cannot clearly define your values and then communicate it to the people around you, they should know you for who you are. They should know that when it comes to integrity, you are there. Credibility, you are there. And it begins with you. So if you are hiding and doing things and you think nobody sees you, value operates like spirit. That is what will reflect in your actions without you knowing. People will eventually get to know, because see, the experience that people go through with you after dealing with you, that is the true identity of your brand. These are things that people may not be bold enough to tell you, but they have already formed an opinion. So your external factors, your internal factors, what are you communicating? So you identify your values, you identify your skills. What are those things that you know? You identify your target audience. Who are you trying to reach out to with your brand? You need to know your audience, because whatever you are selling, right? It is not everybody. I chanced upon a post, or I don't know whether I read it in a book. That person said that even if you are selling prosperity and life, there are people they will never buy. If they know that you are the one they will get life from, right? Prosperity from, they will rather die. So you need to know your audience. You cannot serve everybody. Everybody cannot be your customer. Even your friends, there are people very close to you, but they know they see you cry. They will rather leave you. You may be selling that same thing, but they will not buy from you. They will choose to buy from someone else. So who are you called to serve? With what you know, your skills, who are you called to serve? You need to know. So you identify your audience, understand them, your target audience. When you know them and you understand them, you begin to, tailor your message and your approach in a way that will connect or resonate with them. This thing that I know how to do, who is it for? Who are those people who really need my services or my product or this thing that I know? Who are those people? You need to know. Because if you don't know, as someone said, it will just be like you selling a weight loss product to slim people. All right? So you need to know. And then you need to be authentic. I have already elaborated on that already. I have already shared my experience about authenticity, truthfulness. So these are some of the things that you need to do. And then you establish in fact, a strong online presence. If you are here and you are only sharing other people's posts on social media, you are on Facebook, you are on Instagram, you are on TikTok, and then all the other social media platforms, Twitter and all of that. And you are not using that to do anything meaningful. You are not giving value. You are not strong. You are not showcasing what you have. Then you have not yet begun. Maybe the question I will ask you is, what are you waiting for? What's your problem? What are you doing online? You're on social media, you're on Facebook. And when we come there, all we see is all those nyama nyama things. No, go and clean up the mess on your timeline. This one, tell somebody in the comment section, I beg, go clean up the mess on your timeline. Go clean up the mess. I wish I can know the people that are here. I will take time and then go through your feed, go through your timeline and see, and tell you, maybe do profile audit. Maybe I can do this for 5 people. So Mr. Desmond can coordinate that. I want to do profile audit for 5 people here. I don't know how to choose these 5 people. Go clean up the mess. If you don't know how to start, I can help you. So 5 people, I will do profile audit. I will tell you what you need to do. Right? So I am more stronger on Facebook. So I will use Facebook. Right? 5 people. Profile audit for 5 people, right? All right. Then you need to begin to, create valuable content. Content is everything. I started by telling you about content. The aspect of you that people know, right? In fact, your content is what the digital world can relate with. That is the you that they know. So you must begin to provide valuable content. It's so easy. It's so simple to create content. You can't tell me that you can't create content. No. In fact, right now, it's something that there are so many things available now to help you create content. So you must begin to create valuable content. Start from, the place you are. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Your content has the power to tear you down or build you up. So the key, in fact, the key to success in the digital world is content. All right? So you begin to create valuable content. Time will not permit me to elaborate on that and to share a few AI tools you can use to help you create content. Time will not permit me. And then you need to be consistent. You need to, network, collaborate with other people when you want to build an impactful brand. I will end it here because my time is up. So let me start taking questions. I don't know how we are going to do it. Mr. Desmond, maybe you can coordinate that question.
All right. Thank you so much for these thoughtful thoughts that you shared with us. I think we should have made it like 2 hours. Because I just started getting so much immersed in the lecture before it's now ending. So maybe we need part 2 and part 3 of this. Oh,
No problem. No.
Miranda is saying you want more. Don't worry, we'll give you more. I want to tell everybody in the meeting here that what we are hearing right now is really expensive. It's things people pay for so much just to have. So whatever it is that we are getting, let's really write down the things we've learned and let's begin to practice so they would find practical expressions in our lives. So when it comes to the questions, we don't have much time. So you raise your hand and then I'll call you. We are supposed to be out of here by 8:30, so we'll try and manage the time effectively so that we can move to other things by our own schedules. So if you have a question to ask, please just raise your hand, and when I call you, you speak. So let's hear from I think Promise. Okay, Benedicta Afrifa Ba, your hand is up. Let's hear your question.
Hey, thank you
You're
very much
welcome.
for the opportunity. My name is Benedicta. Madam,
Madam Holly Akpene from Wako.
yes, Madam Holiakmene. Please, I would like to ask, is it necessary for you to have a different account for your business separate from your personal accounts on social media platforms?
Okay. So this question, I get this question a lot, and I'll tell you my personal, how do I put it, my view, personal view on this, all right? Now, there are two schools of thought. One school of thought says that your business is your business on social media and you focus on building your business on social media. Your personal account should remain your personal account and where you connect with families and friends and all of that. But then from my expertise as a personal branding expert, here is what I tell people. This is what I have practiced and it has worked for me. So I'm not by any way forcing you to do what I have done, but I'm sharing with you what I have done, right? Now, one of the things that I struggled with when I decided to build my business online was, especially when I started this knowledge monetization and all of that, one of the things I struggled with, in fact, before I even came online, I used to have this problem of low self-esteem, in fact, low self-esteem. Time will not permit me to share some of my struggles with you. It was one of the things that I really struggled with. I struggled with resistance from within. In fact, the resistance coming from within was even stronger than the external one. And I shared with a couple of people that if you really want to overcome the resistance from outside, the external resistance, you must first of all deal with the internal resistance first of all. So you work on yourself. Now, you have people on your personal timeline, your personal account who know you from probably some of them even knew you before you were born, right? So sometimes when you are coming strong, you want to maybe just do your business, share your knowledge, do what you know best to do. Sometimes, especially those of us who have this problem of low self-esteem, we struggle a lot because of this fear of what people will say, the fear of being judged. So it was one of the things that I really had to deal with. And based on that, I decided to use my personal account. And what has brought me the most blessings, the connections that I have with a lot of people, people that I have already mentioned to you that I may not even meet them in person, was through my personal account. You are able to build trust with your audience. In fact, with your personal account than your business account. Because see, when it comes to the business account, a lot of people know that other people can run your business account. If you have your business page, a lot more than 2, 3, 4 people can manage that business page. But when it comes to your business account, I know there are coaches, there are people who are up there and they are not the ones handling their personal account. But yes, you, a small business owner, already you are able to buy up space in the minds of your audience that you are the one in charge of your personal account. So for me, being a personal branding coach, I advise my customers, my clients, right, that while building your business account, also build your personal account because it becomes one surest way of building trust with your audience. I got to a stage where when I'm selling a product, I quickly, and people express doubt because I do strictly payment before delivery, and people express doubt. How can I be sure that my product will be delivered, blah, blah, blah. I quickly give them my name. This is my name. Go on my timeline, check whether I look like somebody who ran away with your money. This brand, this account, I have spent so much money in building, I will not jeopardize it. All right. So these are some of the things that I have done. And for me, I hold the view of the second school of thought that while building your business, focusing on your business account Also build your personal account so that you can use it to connect, to build trust with your audience. So this is what I'll say.
All right.
Thank you very
Good.
much.
I think that's highly educative. So let's build our personal profiles online as well, so that we can use that to be, we can use that as the litmus test for our credibility on social media. So we'll not hide behind a business account and do other things, but we should have a profile online according to what our coach just said, so that we can use that to prove our credibility on social media. And I think we should start early, because if anyone is going to check your credibility on social media, they'll scroll back in time to see when did you join um, the platforms, so that they will not say that you've created the platforms just because of a particular opportunity that came your way. So it's important that we do that as well to set ourselves up for success. All right, so let's hear from Nora Colley. Let's hear a question, please.
Yes, so hello, good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Mine is a clarification. I want to know if what I heard was right. And so there was a submission where she says there's a focus on identity that people forget their reputation. Please, am I right?
Okay. My point was that most people only focus on the physical attributes, the external factors that I have mentioned earlier, though part of your identity is inherent, right? But then most people only focus on the physical attributes. The reputation most of the time is how other people perceive you based on the experiences they have had in dealing with you, whether offline or online. So while the external factors, the physical attributes, you are trying to build it, you are trying to buy up perception in people's mind with your physical attribute, you must also focus on, making sure that you have a good reputation by the experiences that people are having with you, whether offline or online. So that's the point I was trying to make.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks so much for the clarification. And Ernest Akoto, let's hear from you, then we go to the written questions. Please, if your question is not, if you have a question, you don't want to speak, just type it in the in-call chat and I'll read it out.
Thank you so much for this good opportunity. Please, yes, Madam, thank you so much for your great work. Please, I want to ask about a personal account that you've created and then you've messed up already. Is there any way that you can still clean up the mess and then retain the trust that some people might have in you before you've messed up? Is there any way and a better way to do that? And then also, as a student, what are the possible ways that you can create that environment for yourself? And after leaving the school, it will be a great time for you. Not necessarily, maybe you are getting a connections or maybe knowing two or more people around. But what are the, other ways that you can connect strongly so that the environment for you will be greater than before you leave the school? Thank you.
All right. So cleaning up the mess begins from tonight. I don't know what's happened, but you just have to start from somewhere. Now, no matter the level you get to, uh, there's no stage you get to where you would think that people will not doubt you. No matter what you do, people will still doubt you. No matter how sincere you try to be, human beings will remain human beings. All right. But then you can still rewrite the wrongs. So there's an app, I've forgotten about it, that you can use, a third party tool. I don't know if Mr. Desmond knows it, that can help you trace all your activities online. So let's say Facebook, for instance, it can help you trace all your activities, certain comments you have left on people's posts and the things you have posted way back, and you just try to clean them up. There's a third party tool, I can't remember it. I haven't used it, but I've seen quite a number of people talking about it. So that third-party tool can bring all those things to you where you can just go and remove those posts and all of that. But I will not be able to tell you exactly the third-party tool, the name of that tool. Maybe some of you can start researching on it to know. But then whatever you can do on your own, start doing it today, because you get to meet new people, you get to, meet new followers who will believe what you do based on the value you are giving to them. So don't give up on yourself. Don't think that I have messed up, so that's the end of me. There's nothing like that. In fact, even God is a God of second chances. He gives us so many opportunities. So don't give up on yourself. Go and clean up your mess and start providing value. That is the most important thing. You can start from tonight. What is it that you know best to do? You are a student, right? The lady who edited my book, right? She's a student. Some of you have amazing way of coming up with written content. There are lots of business owners who cannot come up with content. Some of you can start with video editing. Some of you can start with graphic design. Some of you can start with, just providing content for people. People don't know how to do these things. Yes, there's ChatGPT, there's a lot of things, AI tools there, but there are people who still will not be able to use those things. So why not take those things up? Some of you can write beautifully. You can start with, written content for people, videos and a lot of things for people, and you take it from there. Clarity will come in big. Before you know it, you will find your feet. So the point is deciding what you want to do and taking action, doing the thing. That is the point. I don't know if I have answered you.
Okay, so we have okay, Ransford. Before I call you, let's attend to the questions in the chat. There's a question here from Eric Opari. Since why, madam? Good evening. How much content do we have to write in order to convince others? And also, what should go into the content?
Okay, so as for how much content, I'll not be able to determine that. You will have to, first of all, know your audience. One of the things that I take my client through is creating their own customer avatar, getting to know the people you are called to serve. So if you know what you want to do online, then that is what you are going to use. That will become the determining factor to know who are the people who will be likely, to show interest in what you are doing. Then you start, attracting those people. There are a lot of places you can go online to attract those you think are your audience. All right. So when you bring those people into your space, right, as you now go ahead to find out, so you are entering, your content is simply entering into the minds of your audience to know their pain points. Then you create content to meet their pain points, right? So I created a content. Most of the time, those content that come to me by way of inspiration, I get a lot of engagement on those content the more. So you just create content. I created a content recently talking about personal branding for introverts. There are people who just don't like putting themselves out there. So I created a content. That content came as a result of an experience I had with one of my coaching clients. So I decided to create a content on it. And I got a lot of, feedback. A lot of people came into my inbox. Some of those people did not even comment on the post, but they came through my inbox asking me, you just spoke to me. This thing you wrote spoke to me. So I just used an experience that I had with a coaching client and then connected it with my own experience, and I create content. So some people create content twice a day, 3 times a day, but it depends on you. your whether you have the time, whether you can, create content that your audience will find valuable. So for me, I'll not be able to say that, okay, create content twice or thrice. The most important thing is that your content should be a valuable one, and then you should be consistent. You should not be someone who is appearing and disappearing on social media. You are here today, then the next time we are seeing you is next week or 2 weeks time. No, when it happens like that, we live in a virtual world where the attention span keeps dropping. So if you are appearing and disappearing, people will soon forget you. So the goal is for you to be consistent with your valuable content. And over time, people will begin to find you as a person of value. And they will begin to, show interest in whatever you are doing.
All right, so Madam Holly, thank you so much for your time this evening. Um, I don't have the words to quantify the value that you have poured out this evening. And it's unfortunate that we are not in person. Like, probably I'll give you a hug to really express how grateful I am with your coming to share your wealth of knowledge and experience with us. I've also been part of those who keep observing your profile on social media. I saw how it all started, and it's been so amazing to the point where I saw other websites started listing you, talking about you on other profiles, and I'm like, wow, this is massive. I have to start something too. So you have really been a lot of inspiration to me, and most of the things I do also, I got inspiration from you back then at Gemara missions when I come around and I see Daddy teaching. When I see him teaching, impacting young people, I get inspired. And all those things have built me up also to start doing something to help people. And the personal branding is key. And I say that because when I was growing up, I keep sharing this story with my students when we come for lectures. And I keep saying that those days I used to feel I had lower self esteem because I felt I was different. I felt everything about me is different. So I'm always hiding, hiding, hiding. To the point that one woman keeps coming to me to ask me to join one association of albinos, something like that. So we can, so one day I told her that I'm not interested because I can't seek for pity from people. I think there is something that I should rather offer as value, which would cause people to love me the more. So I started learning. I started going for seminars, going for workshops, and then reading, practicing. And today I have a school that I'm using to impact people. I have an organization. And I've even forgotten that I used to feel that way. Now, if you tell me that you are different, I'm even happy because it proves to the point that at least you can stand out easily. you know. So the topic of personal branding to me is key. Is very, very key. I build websites. I do graphic design. I don't even advertise anymore these days. People call me and they ask me to do things for them because they trust that the young man will do well. People recommend me to other people, and I think all starts from the personal branding, the way you take time to build your reputation in the minds of people, and how people think about you when you are
Yeah.
not present is actually what the branding is about. And it is my prayer and my belief that everybody who is in this room here will not be complacent in the knowledge that has just been shared with us right now. We should keep and learning to relearn. And even if we know what we've been taught already, we should reinforce the knowledge and use this as a working knowledge. So it will not just be knowledge that we just have acquired just to keep, but we should use it to actually see things changing in our lives. Because until we take action, nothing changes. Until we move, nothing moves. And the force of inertia will keep pulling us back if we don't push ourselves out of our comfort zone to see things changing. So for everyone who has been in the meeting here tonight, it is my prayer that we start seeing massive output from you. Let's see your impact. God has not created us to be hiding in the name of we don't want to be seen. We are telling God that God has made a mistake by bringing us to this earth. He wants us to move out there, make impacts, make the changes. People should know that we have made a change, we have caused an effect, and this effect should be positive. So the little that we can do so far, let's use that to make the changes that we can make within the space of time that we are also existing here on earth. When people see us, let them know that this guy actually stood for this and this is what he has actually achieved before he or she exited this planet. It's a good name is better than riches. So let's build good names, and that is just what personal branding is about. Let's build good names for ourselves and let's keep learning. So Madam Holly is available if you need one-on-one coaching. She will drop her contact in the chat for us. If any of us needs any form of personal coaching, we can reach out to her directly, and then whatever communication that goes on between the two of you, it's my prayer that it will help you to get transformed over time. And let's take this things very serious. Out there is really, really expensive, and I know it's expensive. So sometimes I'm very reluctant to invite top coaches like Madam Holy to come in and come and help us because it is their time that they are spending to teach us, and it's the same time that we charge others for. People charge in minutes, people charge in hours, and this is about 2 hours already. So I don't know how much we are paying now. So please, let's take it very serious. Let's brand ourselves, and the little that you know how to do can explode. People don't know as much as you know, but they are making so much because they have very good reputation out there. So let's make most of the things that we have learned tonight. Let's go clean up our mess. Our lives matter, and then let's pick the contact in the chat quickly in the next 1 minute, and then we'll be out of here. So, Madam Holly, please, your last words. Do you have any short word for us before we conclude on tonight's meeting?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Desmond, for having me. I really
Welcome.
appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. God bless you all. I've enjoyed my session with you. Maybe when I'm in home, when I'm coming to home,
All
I'll
right.
let you know so that we can have a physical
I'd love to do
meeting.
that. I can't wait.
Thank you so much. So I don't know if I missed out a question. Someone was asking what should go into the content. Let me quickly share something briefly. Your content should be useful. That's number one. And mostly content that educates. Those are one of the content types that get attraction the most on social media. So you educate, so your content should be useful to your audience, and then it should be clear and compelling. Your content should be genuine, and above all, consistency. I've also mentioned that. So briefly, that's what I'll say. So God bless you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm always available. I made a promise that I'll do profile audit for 5 people. So maybe, Mr. Desmond, you can choose 5 people. In fact, I want people who are struggling, who are really, really struggling. Those are the people that I would want to audit. So 5 people, I'll audit your content, your profile, not content. I'll just simply tell you what you need to fix, what you need to do to start getting the attention of the right people into your space. So I feel excited. Thank you so much for staying through to the end. God richly bless you. I am always available. Reach out to me. If you send me a message and you are not getting a reply, just relax. I will respond to you as soon as I get the time. So once I see it, I will respond. I don't know what else to say, but to go and start building your brand. That's all I will say. Go build your brand. Don't sabotage your destiny on the street of social media. Go build up your destiny on the street of social media. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Most
having me.
welcome. Most
All right.
welcome. Thank you so much. Before we leave, I'm going to drop another link again. And it's very, very important that we know the value that we have shared with you tonight. So I'll drop the link again. And this link is mainly to have you express your thoughts on the value you've received from tonight's meeting. And I'll share that link with you via SMS as well. So you would share with us your thoughts on how the meeting has been of value to you, and then how we can improve upon it in our upcoming meetings as well. All right, so please use the second link for the review, It will help us to improve on this. If we've really impacted you tonight, we would need you to tell us something in return so that we can keep improving. So you can also have more value in upcoming programs. Then before we leave, it's very important that Madam Holly hears one or two voices on what you have actually gotten as value from here directly to her. Okay, I want or three people to express their thoughts on the value and appreciate her on behalf of Genius IT Brainery. So just 2 seconds. I want volunteers who would raise their hands to speak for us before we exit the meeting quickly. Any volunteer? All right, so Ernest, let's hear from you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for this good opportunity. Actually, now I was so surprised about whatever that I've heard tonight. I wasn't expecting this. But through Madam's lecturing, I'm now convinced about what not to post on my status, my field, and then my profile and everything, even uh, things to comment or the kind of word I have to use. Let's say if I want to comment on someone's um, post or something, I need to be very careful. And then Madam said something. She said, people are out there watching for you, even if they are not even texting you or maybe commenting on whatever that you are doing. People are there watching. So what I pull or what I actually learned that maybe I'll go and sleep with it tonight is people are out there watching for you. So you should be very careful about whatever that you are putting out. Maybe that person there is watching you. Maybe one day, maybe he or she needs your service, but because of whatever that you are putting there, it might turn her away or him away. So you be very careful about whatever that you are putting out, because the page that environment is there forever. Even if you are no more there, whatever that you put there is still there. It's talking about you, and then I mean your brand. So I'm so glad to be part of this program. Thank you, sir, for it. Thank you also, sir. This is you are doing great. I can't say much here. Sir, thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Ernest, for those good words. Okay, let me hear from Prince.
I want to thank Sir Desmond for the opportunity also. Madam Holly, it's been a pleasure having you here. And I've learned a lot tonight. Just a couple of days ago, I met a friend of mine in town, and just like, you seem to be doing a lot and you are all over the place, and you appear to be a very busy person. So for a second, I was quiet and I said, why do you say that? Because this is somebody I don't talk to often. And she said, the kind of things you put on your status, you are doing a lot of business. Like, so in people's minds, they have a certain perception of me based on the kind of things I put on my status that be myself, I don't even see it that way. So it's very important that we are exposed to teachings like this. And I'm so grateful that I have received more insight, and now I have to be intentional with the kind of content I put out there, not just because it's nice. I've also learned this evening that whatever I put out there should be in sync with my brand. So if I'm building a brand in graphic designing, the content that I put across should be tailored towards graphic design stuff. I can't go and bring something relating to cooking, or it doesn't help. And also, Madam made a final statement that do not sabotage your destiny on social media. For me, that is a winning key I'm going to sleep with tonight. Thank you for the opportunity, Madam, and thank you, Sir
You're
Desmond.
most welcome. You just given a summary of the entire program. Thank you. Okay, let's take the last one. The last one. Promise. I think your hand is up. Let's hear from you to quickly make it brief so we can exit the meeting for tonight.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Welcome.
Uh, through this meeting, in fact, I've learned a lot from this meeting. And then what I really learned this evening has already changed a lot of things in my life. So I'm so much grateful for the lectures tonight, especially the things that I've learned concerning the factors. These factors has really done a lot to me. The external factors and then the internal factors. In fact, the notes that I've even put down
Mm,
here, yes,
wow.
it has really done a lot. So I'm so much grateful. I thank you so much for this, and God
You're
bless you too,
most welcome.
and bless the madam too.
You're most
Also,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing having you around. Over almost 50 people in this meeting tonight. It's overwhelming, and we promise that we'll bring you more valuable stuffs from time to time, and we'll keep you updated with all of them. And I hope that you keep coming back for value. Let's not relent in getting more information so that we don't become casualties. The more we know, the more we are able to escape situations, the more we are able to make more better informed decisions. So let's keep coming to meetings like this, especially with Genius IT Brainery. And our programs are designed to help you become better at yourself. We are not just teaching you to be computer literate, but we are really building futures. We want you to be able to transform your generation starting from you so that you can also leave legacies for your children. So thank you all so much. Um, would like to wish Madam a good night tonight, and we pray that as you have blessed us tonight, God will keep replenishing you with more knowledge, more wisdom, good health, understanding, and we pray that your coast will be expanded. You have blessings coming from all sides, more clients, and God will give you a unique taste of value that cannot be found anywhere on this planet. People will travel from far and near just to come and hear your wisdom, as was done to Solomon in the Bible. We pray that God will keep moving you forward, every step of the way. You keep guiding you and strengthening you for the battles that are ahead of you, so you can come out more victorious and become an icon and be a change in the lives of so many young people, including myself. So, Madam Holy, God bless you so much. And God bless all of you who have made it into this meeting. It's my prayer that before you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to have a lot of revelation as to what should unfold in your life coming tomorrow onwards. And it's my prayer that one day you stand somewhere and say that the day I participated in this program where Madam Holy Amwaku taught us on personal branding, since then my life has transformed, my life has changed, and now I'm exposed to opportunities that I wouldn't have been exposed to if I had not gotten this knowledge and this working information coming to my mind. So thank you all so much, and God bless you for joining us tonight. I want to wish you all a good night. So let's all say bye bye. Let's turn on our microphones and say bye bye to Madam. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
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 Bye,
Bye
bye, bye.
bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So good night. So see you again, or we'll meet virtually again soon.